Yeah, I'm living my best life. Made a couple M's, you know. Said I'm living my best life. Said I'm living my best life.
Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, Random Opinions, Reaction, and Reviews. If you don't know who I am by now, you gotta get with the program. Today I'm coming to do a review on the episode that just aired on General Hospital today. Today's date is July 18th, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So, we open up with scenes between Nina and Obrecht today. And Obrecht is standing in the hospital wondering who pushed her. And Nina is still looking at this article and she's putting two and two together from things that she's heard. She's heard Brad and Lucas mention that Wiley's father was a sex cult leader. And then she's also heard Willow mention that she gave her child away. So she's like, oh my gosh, Shiloh is the father and I could have had something to do with pushing this Wiley, this innocent child, into this crazy man's hands. So she starts to be disgusted in what she's did, and it almost breaks her heart. She's in tears, because Nina has always been pro-child. Everything good for a child is where Nina's at. She lost her child at when she was 20 due to some things that her mother had going on, and she wants children to be safe, and that's what she promotes. But to find out that she possibly had a hand in a child being in danger is horrible for her. She's horrified, and she's like, Aunt Liesel, I think I've done something terrible. And Liesel is like, so what? She's like, I do something terrible at least once a day. It's good for the soul. Liesel is a mess, y'all. I love her. I love her. I love her. Then Valentine shows up to whisk Nina off, and they head to the Metro Court. Yes. So then we have scenes today with Willow and Chase. Willow and Chase are at the park. Chase is getting ready and gearing up for a game between EOQ and the PCPD. And Willow is happy. She just found out some good news. She runs into Chase's arms. They greet each other with a kiss. And it's everything nice. Everything good they're talking about. She fills him in on how Wiley is safer now. And Shiloh, if he ever, walked free, he would have to start this whole process with petitioning the court and everything. He would have to go back to even try to prove that Wiley is his son. And so Chase is happy for her, and he lets her know, look, you're my hero. And she is thanking him for being there for her. And this couple, I'm like, yeah, I like this couple. They're solid. I hope that the writers don't break them up. I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but that's where I'm at. I like this couple together. So I guess with her going to court and she being in contempt of court and being jailed, she ended up losing her job again. So them holding her up, making her not go to court on time, was for no reason. She ends up losing her job again. And so now she's putting in for other job applications, and she gets a job interview to be a nanny. And Chase is happy for her. He thinks it's a perfect fit. And I'm just like, a nanny? You have all this education and you want to be a nanny? But I guess the family that she's trying to work for is very wealthy, so she'll get paid really good. So I'm like, hey, she might even make more than a teacher, so not bad. So she heads to her interview. Then we have scenes today with Jason and Sam. You guys, everything nice, everything. That's all I can say. Sam and Jason are at the hospital, and Sam has something, but she wouldn't show Jason what it was. And Michael shows up, and then he fills them in on how Wiley is safe and the whole Shiloh shindig. And then he starts asking how did Jason get Harmony to flip on Shiloh, and so Jason fills him in on that. They head to their home afterwards, and Michael heads to the ELQ game. And Sam's like, look, I have a surprise for you, Jason. And these scenes were so lovely. They seemed so happy. They were flirting. It was just beautiful. It was freaking awesome. So I guess her surprise was that she had she looked into a laser treatment to be able to get her tattoo removed. And they found out what the significance of the tattoo was. It actually stands for David Henry Archer. I'm like, this guy is so narcissistic that he was sitting here tattooing his name on women. Come on now. So these, like I said, these scenes were nice. Sam's like, you know what, I'm getting this tattoo removed not only for myself but for you, because you are the one that has to look at it more than I do, you know. And Jason is like, either way, you're perfect. Like, oh, they're so freaking beautiful. Then Sam gets this idea, like, hold on, why don't I extend the services to Shiloh's other victims, you know, like Carol and Willow. And so Jason pretty much backs her up on this, and they decide to do that. And I think it's a good idea, because this woman, they have this mark of Shiloh on them. And yes, they might have mental scars, they might have emotional scars, but it's nothing like a physical scar as well to put the freaking cherry on the cupcake, you know. So getting it removed, I know it's going to help these women, and it's actually going to start rehabilitation for their mental processes too. And so Sam and Jason are talking, and Sam just was like, you know what, I was scared every day that the deeper I got involved with Shiloh, the more it was going to push you. And I'm like, you know what, because remember one time when Jason was so deep into Elizabeth and Sam pushed him? This happened.
If you think that I am wrong about the danger and you're willing to risk Elizabeth's life to be with your son, or have one or both of them shot in your arms, then just say so, Jason. I will march down to her right now and tell her I set that whole thing up. You know as well as I do, you said it yourself. Elizabeth and Jake, and don't forget Cameron, will never be safe with you.
You stood by while Jake was kidnapped. You hired 2 men to threaten Elizabeth at gunpoint while her children watched. What is wrong with you? You want revenge? You want to be angry at somebody? You be angry at me.
Jason, I gave up everything to be with you. I was shot because of you. I cannot have kids because of you. And then you go and have one with Elizabeth?
You stay away from Elizabeth. Don't go near her children or her again.
What, are you threatening me?
If you hurt them again, in any way, I will kill you.
See? That was a horrible moment for Jasam, sadly. But I'm glad they were able to recover from that. Also, you know, Jason is like, never. Nothing can ever come in between. I would never let anything come in between us, you know. So I'm glad that these two are in a good place, you know. So then Sam is like,
I love you, you love me, we're a happy family.
freaking beautiful, freaking beautiful. I'm sorry, you guys. These were just good scenes. Like, I love Jasam. It was short and sweet, but I was happy to see them, you know, on the episode, because we haven't seen them in a while. We have scenes today between Valentine and Curtis, and Valentine wants to know, has there been any like new updates with this whole Jack situation? And Curtis is like, dude, you need to calm down, let me do my job so I won't blow my cover. Valentine wants him to work faster. He's like, do you want me to work faster, or do you want me to work Thorf? You know, do you want a good job or a bad one? You know, do you want me to botch this job? And Valentine is like, look, just try to move a little bit faster. Like, try to get whatever you can. Just keep an eye out. And then he leaves. And Valentine is looking over at Sasha. Sasha's sitting at the Metro Court table. And then she comes over to talk to him. And she's telling him, look, I'm going to be staying in Port Charles permanently. I've thought about it. I thought it through. And this is the best move for me, you know. And Valentine is like, look, the more you stick around here, the better chance you have at getting caught. You need to leave and go back to your hometown. And Sasha is saying, look, this is my home. Valentine is not happy about that. Sasha's like, look, you paid me to act like I was Nina's daughter. Let's just look at this as, you know, I got a good lump sum of money and now I'm working pro bono. I just want to continue to be her daughter and I want to continue to live life here. You know, what can go wrong? You know, I feel like the benefits outweigh the risk. Everybody is getting a benefit from this. You know, Sasha gains a family. Nina gains a daughter. And Valentine keeps his wife. I'm like, dang, she just summed it up. But Valentine's still not, he's not feeling that. And, you know, he's kind of nervous. He knows at any given day he can lose Nina. And it serves him right because he's been lying too much to Nina. Come on now, Valentine. Really? You really thought you could pull this lie off? But we'll see what happens from there. Jordan is at the PCPD. She's working part-time. Mac is ready to give her her commissioner job back, but she's like, no, I made an agreement with Curtis and my doctor. I have to do this part-time. We'll let you continue to be the commissioner. And so they get to talking about who pushed Liesl. And Jordan starts to laugh. And Mac starts to laugh. And she's like, I'm sorry, but I wish I was there to see this. You know, and they get to talking about possible suspects, which really anyone in Port Charles could be a suspect because Liesl has broke a lot of bridges, you know, but there's at least one suspect they can rule out, and that's Hayden. Franco and Elizabeth show up, and they show up with the picture. Remember I told you the picture that they were looking at? They seen that it was somebody in the picture, so now it backs up the claim that Liesl was actually telling the truth. She was pushed. And so the cops, they take it into evidence. They look into it, you know. And from there, Franco and Liz head off to the hospital. And they're asking Liesl, what do you know? Who would push you? You know, we know there's a lot of people in Port Charles that want to kill you. But there's a lot of people who wouldn't actually act on that. So you have to know something. And it's probably dealing with Wiley, Brad and Lucas. And she maintains she don't know what they talking about. She ain't telling right now. I don't know why she's not telling, but she ain't telling. So yeah, they wanted answers. Instead, Liesl was throwing out insults to Elizabeth. I thought that was kind of funny. Like I said, I love my girl. She keeps everything funny and interesting on General Hospital when she does have scenes, you know. They also let her know that Hayden was cleared. So, and they also fill her in that they think that it was a man that pushed her. So now Liesl's head is going a million miles a minute. I'm pretty sure she's already putting together who she thinks it is, and she's gonna come up with Valentine or either Brad. So we'll see what happens. I can't wait for that, because Liesl is not one to be pushed over. Literally, she ain't going. When she finds out who it is, all hell gonna break loose. Best believe that. So then Willow shows up for her interview with this woman at the Metro Court, and she's doing a good job with her interview. The woman is asking questions and she's knocking them out of the ballpark. She seems well qualified. You know, she knows other languages. She's very smart, intuitive. Everything good. She's sounding really good. And when I was thinking about what child could she possibly be about to be a nanny to, the first person I thought was Wiley. But then as the woman started to describe the child, I was like, oh, it's Charlotte. The woman lets Willow know that the parents will be accompanying them for the rest of the interview. And soon we look over, we see Nina and Valentine. So I'm assuming that it was Charlotte, but they didn't actually state whether it was Charlotte or not. And it just seemed like they wasn't too familiar with the person that was giving the interview. So I'm not sure if it was her or what. But Willow jumped to conclusions and she was like, yeah, I'm sorry that things didn't work out with Charlotte. I know you guys don't like me. I kind of don't like y'all either. So I'm going to go. And in the meanwhile, Nina is trying to apologize to her, but Willow is cutting her off. So she just leaves. Pretty much she tries to beat Nina to the punch. That's all. Like, she didn't want to be rejected again. And I understand and completely agree with how she feels, you know, because every time she sees Nina and Valentine, they have something snarky or snooty to say. You know, they're so high class and so uppity, you know, and they're always looking their nose down at her. So of course she would try to beat them to the punch. You know, this woman ain't no pushover. She's been through a lot. She don't have to take their garbage, you know? So she leaves. But we'll see if they were the parents actually, or if she just jumped to conclusions. So meanwhile, at the game, which I kind of wish that we had seen on screen, but you know, I guess Michael ends up getting hurt because he caught a ball to his ribs. Sasha runs up. She's like, Michael, are you okay? And he's like, this man didn't forgot that he's playing softball and then broke my ribs. And Sasha's like, are you sure? And he's like, I don't know, but they feel like it. So they go on to the hotel room and leave the game early. And these two make out. Those were cute scenes. I thought that they were very cute. I thought that Sasha and Michael, like, I really liked them as a couple. I like Willow and Chase as a couple. Today episode to me felt like a love episode. You know, everybody was with their partner, just loving on their partner, so that was cute. Then we have Jordan at home. I kind of enjoyed those scenes too, which you guys know that I'm not a huge Jordan fan. You know, I find them boring, but I kind of thought it was cute because we seen Jordan in a different light. This woman had on jogging pants, listening to music, dancing and eating cereal. Like, she was laid back. So that's why I liked it, because we don't see that part of Jordan. She's always 100% business, you know. And Curtis walks in and he's happy. He's like, you know what? This is the day I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for this moment right here. And Jordan is like, what? This moment right here? This particular moment with me having on sweatpants? And, you know, Curtis kind of pulls a Drake on her. You know, he says,
sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on. That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that y'all don't take it wrong.
So I thought the scenes were kind of cute, you know. So Jordan gets to talking to him. She's like, how about we fold some clothes and empty out the dishwasher? And he's like, oh, that turns me on. And then they get to talking about, you know, whether she's been cleared to have sex and, you know, talking about what couples talk about, doing what couples do. So that was a cool scene. You know, today's episode, it wasn't much to it, but it was the episode of love. So, I don't know. Like I said, I like the scenes. I enjoyed today's episode. You guys let me know how you felt about today's episode. If you guys want to leave a comment below, don't forget, like and subscribe. And I will see you later. Bye.
I finally made my mind, know that I can't go back broke. They saying that my time up, my back against the ropes. I hustle, got my grind, know that when I made the most. I had faith every night and I never lost no